All right. Well, hey, Jake, thanks so much for being here today, man. I really appreciate you taking time just to share with us about Christian Assembly and what God's doing in and through you guys. For all of our amazing HSM parents who have gathered and are going to get to hear you share, could you just introduce yourself a little bit and then share a little bit about your church with us?
Absolutely. It's my honor and pleasure to be here, Eric. My name's Jake Walker, and I grew up at Christian Assembly. My dad is Tommy Walker, who some of you might know, and he's been at CA for longer than I've been alive, I think about 28 years.
Wow.
And I'm just thankful that I get the opportunity to serve this place that poured so much into me. I've been associate pastor for 4 years at CA, and now I just took on the lead role of the student ministry. So working with our high schooler students is so amazing. And a little bit about CA. We've been around for over 100 years.
Wow.
We average about 2,200 adults on the weekend, 460 kids. And for high school, which is midweek on Wednesday nights, we have about 100 students coming every week. It's multi-ethnic church, multi-generational for sure. From birth, we have ministries, all the way to adults. We have, an older generation also part of CA, which is awesome.
That's awesome.
And it's an amazing place to be. We have on the weekend, we have a Saturday night service. We got 2 Sunday morning services, and then Sunday night service, which is more young adult service. And let's see, the 2 Sunday morning services are really actually 2 services because we have campuses on both sides of the street. So, that's a little bit about
That's great.
CA, rocking and rolling.
That's awesome. That's awesome, man. So I think, you and I have had an opportunity to talk about ministry and all the things that you have going on. And one of the things we talked about is that CA has made a decision really since the beginning to not have a specific high school Sunday morning experience. And I know that was something that you inherited and something that has already pre-existed. But I was wondering if you could just answer the questions, why is that a part of your DNA at CA? Why is that something that Christian Assembly believes in? And then what have been some of the benefits as you've seen this lived out now since you grew up in this tradition and in this approach? What have been some of those benefits?
Yeah, totally. I think a big part of it is it provides an opportunity for students to be used to a regular church service. If students just only know their department or their youth service, when they graduate, it can be kind of a hard transition.
Sure.
If they've never experienced kind of like a regular church situation, So having our midweek service for youth allows them the opportunity to go to the adult church service, which is just awesome for them to experience that and to be used to that and have that habit. In addition to that, just I think the research keeps coming out with this, intergenerational worship is so important for students to be seeing their parents, their mentors, the people that are older than them and younger than them worshiping is huge. It allows them a chance to connect with their families.
Yeah.
I know that not all the students would have families that are going to church, but probably a lot would. So that's just how I know that was powerful in my life, getting to watch my dad, but my mom right next to me, worshiping. And I know it was a huge impact on my brother. He tells a story of him watching me, worshiping one time in the regular service, and him saying, I want whatever my bro has.
Wow.
And that was really powerful for him in his walk of faith. And I think that was really powerful for me being in those services every weekend. I think having a midweek service for students is a touch point for them. In the week for students, it's a commitment, but it's also an awesome time to kind of remember, hey, this is why I'm living for Jesus. In the midst of school and all that's going on. So there's so many reasons. It gives the opportunity for them to serve in the weekend services. We push our students towards, the welcome team, the ushering team, to kids church serving. Wow. And I guess even as I'm talking about it, the more I realized it was so powerful for me personally to not only see my parents worshiping and to hear the same thing, that the pastor's speaking, and then that allows for conversation and just a context for living out our faith in Jesus together as we go. So
Jake,
those are some of the reasons that I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's awesome. We didn't even really talk about that, but how powerful and awesome it is for students and parents to hear the same things, to experience the same things, so that they can process the same things and figure out how does that kind of apply to their life. And you touched on serving a little bit. Can you share? And I know I didn't even really prompt you with this question, but can you share just some benefits of seeing your students serving as you walk around the weekend and maybe see them in kids' church or see them at the welcome team or helping out with production or worship or whatever? Have you seen students benefit from really making a commitment to worshiping and also to serving on Sundays?
Well, anytime, in any way we can get our students serving, I just think that's just absolutely critical for their faith. James talks about how faith without works is dead. I really think that when we encourage our students to serve, that really creates their faith alive. When they make that commitment to serve and to be moving with their faith is alive. And it's just also part of the students are a part of the church. They're not just consumers of the church, but they're participants, and that creates a true life, a true living faith and ownership of their faith and of their church. And that trains them and equips them and prepares them well for when they go off to college and such to find a church and to serve.
That's good.
Not just go whenever they feel like it.
That's good, Jake. Jake, thank you so much for taking time. Is there anything else that you'd want to share with us before we sign off?
Yeah, I mean, one thing, I was even talking to my parents about this conversation, and my mom reminded me, to do a midweek service or something that's not just on the Sunday morning is a commitment on the parents' part. It's a commitment on the students' part, and that shouldn't be something that is, taken for granted. And we thank you parents, who would make that commitment to disciple your students and teach them the importance of prioritizing the weekly gathering, the people of God. And so we thank you for that. And but I think it's so worth it, and so I just bless your church in this time, and I'm just thankful for the opportunity to get to share a little bit of my heart.
Awesome, Jake. Well, they don't know this yet, but you are literally getting married in a few days, and so we bless you, and we're so excited about that. And I just appreciate you taking time to chat with the amazing families of Purpose Church and specifically our high school ministry. We love you, buddy. Thanks, man.
Thanks so much, Eric. Yeah, God bless you all.
See you, bud.